This is Tech Tuning in 21, and I'm Chris Bettis from Fluent Mortgage, Tech Fluently. All right, so we're going to be talking point of sale today, specifically Loanzify in this case, and truly, I see the point of sale as the broker portal, right? Whether it's web-based or app-based, literally, that's where we should, ideally with the perfect ecosystem, what L3 is going to do in time, and ideally for your tuning of your tech, borrowers should have one portal, one point of communication so they don't get confused on all these different spots. And is this fraud? And is this really you? And how do I log in? And passwords, right? One centralized point. So I'm going to backtrack, and this is free for you really quick. So if you're using lender homepage, Loanzify, my mortgage app, all three we know, and I am currently, it's one parent company. So it's really easy. I know for a bunch of you though, you're having challenges getting back to the main dashboard. So you just click on your face, you go account, it takes you to the pseudo dashboard. It's like the POS dashboard, but then you hit dashboard again on the far right, and then it'll show you all of your accounts. So that's the way, remember, face dashboard takes you to the main dashboard where you can access all of the stuff that you use if you're using multiple piece of software from the same parent company. So we're talking point of sale today, right? And then obviously app-based, but this is web-based, basically the exact same thing. So let's just configure our point of sale, and I'll show you something super cool. So we're gonna go settings. We'll come back to teams in a second. So I'm just gonna walk you through all the settings, and then I'm gonna give you something super cool for the future. So system settings, just what your domain name's gonna be, time zones, any delays, and then if you use two-factor authentication. Also, depending on your leads, if you round robin LOs, I'm a one LO shop, so it doesn't make sense. Obviously, put your image in, favicons. Remember, from lender homepage, this is your own branded little tiny image, right? Like at the top where you've made it to like this person's legit. It's not some G. What you're going to use for image, and then your landing background color. Of course, get your colors, get your hash keys, make sure you brand it to your company, right? Any specific fonts, here's where you're gonna do all that. Pretty simple. Like, yeah, be consistent on your branding throughout. Content, here's where you're gonna put that information in for your privacy policies, your legal. I guess needed, but it's kind of boring. This is a great accessibility widget. Hearing impaired, just I know out of California, this is a big deal. So if you want it Cali compliant, which most of us do for our websites, right? You're gonna want this. Plus, it's just some easy functionality that's built in automatically. And then in terms of access, so this is where we're gonna define who gets what. So your lender account executives, hey, well, I'm only gonna let them see the borrower. They don't get my full pipeline and they can't pull credit themselves. All of us within the office, I'm not a specific manager, but me, my assistant, the processor, yeah, we're all pulling the same stuff. Any referral partners, like the realtor, right? Yeah, I'm gonna let them see the borrower. They don't get to see my full pipe, and no, heck no, they don't get to pull credit. And then if you give an underwriter, right, access somehow in time, you never know. Again, they can see the borrower. They don't get to see the full pipe. So that's kind of the basics there in settings, configuration, document requests. So here's some of the cool power of it. Literally, borrower over the weekend fills out an application, just like lending pad or LOS. It's smart, right? It's basic language. It's rules based. So once the application comes in, as long as you define and set your documents, it'll automatically request them out. And it's super cool if it's mobile. Each item, each one, not some mass dump, not confusing, super easy. Use the web, use your phone, really, really intuitive. It's sick. Again, rules-based. Just pick what documents you want. And what I would recommend is have your fundamental base of documents and then build from there. So for example, for me, no matter what, when it says refinance, Earl, as an example, think Earl, all I need is ID, homeowner's insurance, and mortgage statement, right? And you can define it differently if it says VA, refinance, or something. But I always want those as an example. And then I just start layering it on depending on the type of loan. So just rules-based, super basic. Love this though. So what's cool is literally co-branded realtor gives out your app, gives out your POS, potential borrower client fills it out over the weekend, literally gets the doc set. I mean, you just come walking in and you're like, everything's there. It's beautiful. It's automated, digital end to end, right? That's what everybody wants, especially the consumer. Integrations. Here's where it starts to get really fun, right? So CRM, you'll see. I mentioned someone before in the past. Got a little disappointed with some of the functionality. Loved some of the marketing, but the functionality was poor. Right now, I guess I'll drop out, plant a seed. Home IQ is who we're looking at for that CRM. And so they've already integrated with LendingPad, who's already integrated with this. So it'll work. Obviously, we're using LOS for our lending integration with LOS. Credit reporting right now, I know they're with CIC at this point. I'm going to see if we can pull in Advantage. And I also want it where the borrower can pull their own credit report if they pay. So thank you, Loanzify. They have that functionality built in. Right now it's with Plate, I believe, is who they use. Pricing engine, as you're probably aware, we're bringing in lender price already into them, into the website, and into the point of sale and into the app. So I know Dewar and Rocky have already been talking about this. I know the head developers, I've already seen chatter behind the scenes. Oh yeah, sorry. Day one certainties played. So I'm working with LenderPad because as we know, certain wholesales will already pay for your VOEs, your VOAs. So that's one of the things I don't want to pay for it, right? We have some other people who are paying for it on our behalf at this point. So we're going to work that into here. Reviews, e-endorsements. So literally, we've got some major integrations next, but this is where e-endorsements is going to go. The most amazing automated survey software there is in the biz. I mean, if you followed me at all for the last 3 years we've had a business, for one LO to have over 300 reviews at this point is shocking. I mean, obviously we do a good business and take care of our people, but you can see that software just works, right? And then Zapier, I may or may at some point pull that in or not, but they're set up for that. So, but yeah, in terms of whitelisting, here you go. So, integrations, right? That's the most important piece, right? Tuning your tech. It's not just us having lots of tools. It's how do they work all seamlessly together. All right, so settings. We'll just work our way through. Exports, how you export 3.2 or 3.4. I don't really do that much anymore, right? Especially not 3.2s, obviously. We're doing integration. We're not just doing export of 3.2. Who cares? Milestones. So we started working on this. They had a bunch of milestones in here already, but I'm going to match the milestones that I use in LendingPad, right? G.I. Joe. So started pulling them in actually today because in terms of a conditional approval, conditional submissions, those sorts of things, changing up the language a little bit. Some states, maybe use final approved instead of cleared to close. Some people maybe use closing instead of signing, that sort of thing. So just kind of perfecting the milestones. And what's cool is Rocky and Dewar are going bi-directional, right? So nobody else at this point that I'm aware of, at least from a POS, is bi-directional. All pushing of that has to go through your CRM. Well, that's cool. That's great. They got an email from your email address, but we just told them how important our app is, right? We just told them how this is the borrower portal, and then all of a sudden you're emailing them? No. Borrower portal equals borrower portal equals borrower portal. So what's cool is Rocky and Wes from LendingPad are like, let's go. Wes has turned it on, and Rocky, Loanzify and my mortgage app are literally turning on. And so the very first thing we're going bi-directional on is milestones. So the second it triggers here, it'll automatically send something out. It'll automatically alert the realtor. It'll automatically alert listing agent. If you want it to, it'll automatically update your borrower. And it can do the templated versions they have, or we're going to build it later on where it has your custom video. So that's the way I do my world, is always custom videos. But hey, they've already gotten 90% of the heavy lifting done. Again, Wes has turned it on. We just got to get that integration piece in terms of I'm going back and forth. But it's there. I'm so stoked. Pre-approvals. They have a defaulted one. Like always, just do custom, right? So I've already gone in here. You can see we did our branding, our logo, and just changed some stuff. So just take a little bit, super basic, super easy. Make it your own. Because remember, I won't give away everything today, but those pre-approval letters are going to be huge in the future for you. And then in terms of how you do your communication. So kind of the last piece, exactly what happens and whose it goes to. All right, so that's our settings, okay? But something I would very, 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 very strongly recommend you start doing within teams is your partners, okay? And so just start getting all your referral partners in here. I'm going to show you. Here's why. Okay. So, remember, face, dashboard, sick. I'm sure he'll be okay. Let me show. I'm going to use Mark and Kelly Townsend. Amazing. I'm sure they'll be okay with it. Truly some of the best realtors down in the Roseburg area, especially with VA and some rural property, etc. So what's cool is literally 2 steps, right? First in the point of sale, or first from the main dashboard, you add your agent. But then when we talk more about MMA, my mortgage app, we can start co-branding. So that's just a teaser. You don't get to see this really today. We're not going to talk about how to do that, but just that's why, right? That's why you're going to add your partners. So Loanzify, point of sale. Let's come back to here real quick to my homepage. The last thing. Once you do, depending on your templates, most websites don't have your sign-in, right? In one spot. Remember, one borrower portal, one spot. You can't have your website. You can't have your POS as a different link somewhere else. And that's the problem. They get confused where to go. So yes, you can have someone custom added over here, but the problem is when you optimize for mobile, a lot of times it won't show up, or they're going to have to swipe and get to it, right? So this is, again, free. We were only going to talk about POS day, but you got to get your POS in there. So within your website, manage your website, site content, edit your navigations, and make sure within here you do just a custom page. So you just add one. So add new, sign in, custom page. You simply throw your URL. That's it. Throw your URL to your POS in there. Me personally, I open it in a new tab. Like, I don't want them leaving my website, right? My website stays up. Anything that's sort of a pop-up is a new screen. So in a new tab, save, you're done. So add your point of sale to your website all in one, right? Obviously, if they're using their app-based, they already have your point of sale. Borrower portal. 2, dashboard. Make sure you configure everything. See, we're not there. It's really tough. So we go my account. Boom, dashboard. We're back. Configure your entire point of sale. And obviously, more and more people are going web-based, app-based, right? So configure your point of sale. Get your documents automatically firing back at you. Get it branded to yourself. Get your integrations going. Get all your partners added. Because when we turn to the app, I think you're going to be blown away. This really is structure and infrastructure behind the scenes. You saw what we've done and how we've already perfected the website. Oh, weird, something fell out. We'll get that tossed back in. But you see how we perfected the website, or at least it was, except that one section, right? And then we're turning the app, and we're actively getting all that same functionality in there. And then once we turn on 2, first in the industry, 2, tech that has never been done. The ultimate goal for the borrower and the ultimate goal for the realtor are like this close. So get yourself ready, build it. So the second that we turn that on, you're already live. You can hand it off before anybody else, that realtor, first in market. You can hand off this tech to your clients. Give them that true digital end-to-end as a broker, which no one else is doing. I'm Chris Bettis from Fluent Mortgage, Tech Fluently. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, and most of all, don't forget to tune your tech in 21. Take care.